Okay, so the Vintage Royale collection just released today, and I'm working late, so I have an opportunity to record some videos when it's not in the middle of the busy day. So I thought I would give everyone a chance to see a application of the shiny shade color Milady, and possibly this might be for some a different application technique, the way that we apply shiny shades. Cap my free edge there. I really love this color. It's kind of a powder room, fleshy powder room tone. And it's just looks absolutely stunning. It's a wonderful color to offset and complement all the darker shades that we released in this collection. There isn't a single color. The darker colors it looks good with, the lighter colors it looks good with. It just looks good with all of them. So I start with, I like to do 2 shades or 2 coats. And I use our edging technique. This is I call it a smile tile, because when I first started using a tile to clean and season my brush, I was using it to clean my smile line brush, and it became the smile tile. I don't even think there was such a thing as colored gel back in those days. So it's just become part of my entire process. I use it to clean and season all my brushes. Could be a potential acrylic background too, because there's lots of cleaning the brush and molding the brush in acrylic. And with gel, we don't really have the ability to do that. But with my smile tile, I can clean my brush and get my bristles together. Whoa, I forgot, we're not doing that one. Just about. We have a different plan for that nail. That nail already has a coat of sheer blush on it. He's got a different program going. So my focus with my first layer of shiny shades is really edging my color so that I get it super, super close and perfectly painted all around the edges of the nail. And then at the cuticle, I like to just slide in. And this first coat, I really take my time and I make it perfect, perfect, perfect. Because my second layer, I'm not going to go quite that close and be as perfect with. Double check that those are lovely. Let's cure that. If I have, I try to keep a brush for light colors, a brush for dark shiny shades, one for shimmers and one for brights. But sometimes they get mixed up, and then I find that the smile tile will help to kind of pull some of those colors out too. Also works really good to remove glitter. I suppose this one, we haven't had this one in the light for a while, have we? No. So we're going to add, we just did the coat of sheer blush from the spring collection, and we're going to add a couple foils to this one. It's a Pinterest inspired look. Look at me and my bad self. I'm like, I don't do Pinterest looks. Tara is pulling me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more of this guy on there. A little accent nail. And then this hand is ready for sheer brilliance, which I might do afterwards. I don't want to finish all of these nails and take up everybody's time because they need to get to bed so that they can get up and do nails all day tomorrow. So with that first coat down and edged perfectly, then my next coat, I can just focus on a nice even pressure brush stroke for that perfect, flawless finish. So try to make sure when I'm applying color, I try not to paw at it and do like a half stroke. So I started painting my nails when I was 5, so my nail painting technique is well established. And when you're painting with nail polish, you have to start at one end and slide all the way through to the other. No half strokes. Just try to be really careful at my cuticle area because I want my cuticle area to look perfect. So every time I place my brush, I slow my process down so that I'm not accidentally dinging the skin or creating an uneven finish, because at the cuticle area it's really easy for that color edge to look jagged, and I want it to look just perfectly round and finished. And I was gonna foil that, but before I muck it up, let's put that in the light. So that's Milady, one of my favorite colors, but I'm kind of a nudie tone girl myself. I'm still stuck in satin sheets from 2 or 3 years ago. Can't get out of it. And this hand's finished, so let's just go ahead and we'll put a coat of Sheer Brilliance on this one, and then we got one hand done. So my technique is the same when I'm applying my sheer. My first layer, I edge it so that I get really good coverage around the edges without hitting any of the tissue, so that I don't create any lifting on the client throughout the next month. Sneak it into that cuticle area, cap my free edge. My first layer is all about perfect application, covering it from like edge to edge, cuticle to tip. And I've got a little bit of foil coming out of my brush because I didn't wipe on my smile tile after I finished. So that's what this little sweepy sweep is about. It's trying to erase my tracks. Should make sure that there's nothing left in there. I don't want to do that again. Sneak it into that cuticle area and cap. I always like to unload that first sweep through the middle just so that I don't have too much product on my brush, because if I have too much product in my brush when I go into the cuticle area, that's when flooding can happen. And the amount of product that's on our brush seems to be important and contribute to the finished result. So then before curing this, I'm going to go back with just a nice floating bead and gently glide that through the middle over top. So because that first layer went all the way to the edges, this layer doesn't have to. It'll melt into the first layer, and this layer will help create that nice, beautiful, full shine without getting skid marks or looking dull. And my brush must have touched one spot because I have shiny skin. Okay, let's put that in the light. And I got to get some cleanser out to make sure that I clean up that mess. Okay, so we'll foil this one, then we'll be able to finish these. And when we do, let's pop that out now that it's kind of had a little flash. And that will be the end result that we're going for. So that's Milady from the fall collection. Beautiful color, complements the rest of them beautifully. And we'll see you again in our next live video.